Hello everyone, welcome. I have another video for you today that I had intended to publish about a week ago. If you've watched yesterday's video, you'll understand why, but basically just a lot of terrible plumbing problems in my old house. So I have some new products from Spellbinders, and you probably have seen these already. I'll quickly show you these. This first one is called Dancin' Birthday Monster. It makes up the cutest little monster that has legs that wiggle. And then this one's kind of fun. It's called Birthday Balloons. And it's all of these cute balloon numbers, and they're beautiful etched dies. This next set is called Make-A-Wish Arch Labels, and I love it when they come out with new background panel dies, because I'm going to be using these a lot, not just for monster cards. And then they have a stamp set called Monster Birthday Sentiments, and these are also good for the other dies that they released. They released a panda and a dinosaur. Let's see, I believe they released a dragon. I'll have all of them linked in the description box below. It's a really adorable release. So I cut out all of my pieces with some peach sorbet cardstock. I'm going to add a little bit of shading very simply and quickly with some orange ink just around the edges. The legs I'm going to make completely orange. So I'm just kind of pouncing on this die cut. This little guy is actually going to be an alien for this card. And then these are his arms. Let's add a little bit of shading to those. And you can build these monsters however you want, monsters or aliens. These last two pieces are his eyes that extend from the top of his head. And I'll lay down a good amount of the orange on those as well. Okay, so let's put this little monster / alien together. We'll start with the big eyeball in the middle of his head. And there are 3 layers. Next is the iris, and I cut this out with more of the peach sorbet. And last is the pupil. And it's cute because it has a little highlight cut out already. Just makes such a difference on this monster. Now for the eyes at the top of his head. And then they have several sets of teeth that you can choose. I'm just going to insert those in the little pre-cut place under his eye. You could glue this in, but I'm just going to take a little bit of yellow tape and tape it in place. Next, we'll add the whites of his eyes to these 2 eyes that stick up. And they are etched, so I'm just trying to look at them and see where the highlight is. I want them to go in the same place. Now for the orange bits, the irises. And you can see they look like little moons, and so I'm trying to line those up. It tells you, or it's etched in the eyeballs, exactly where you need to place these. Now for the little black pieces. And these are super tiny. You're going to need a pickup stick or tweezers or something to put these in. This pickup stick I have here is a little bit too sticky, so it was kind of hard to maneuver with this. I have to kind of hold it down with my left hand, make it stay in place. There we go. Okay, now for his belly. I cut that out with white and added more orange around it. I'll stop there for just a minute because I don't know how I want to attach his arms and legs. I don't know how I want to pose him. So I'm going to create a galaxy background. I used the second largest arch die to cut this white cardstock out. I'm putting some light green and dark green down. And then I'll start covering it up with my darker colors. So I'm using some amethyst, some dark amethyst purple ink. And I'm coming in with some royal navy. And I'm just coming in off of the sides. I want to keep that green highlight in the middle of the galaxy. And then last, I'm going to come in with some black soot, distress oxide, and darken this a lot. Here is the black soot. In my brush and blending tool collection, I just have kind of a mix of brushes and blending tools, the foams. I'm just using a foam for this. And here it is all done. The monster is going to kind of cover up that green spot, but I wanted to leave as much of it as possible. So I'm making this for my great nephew, who's going to be turning 4 this year. And I'm going to add some color to this number. I'm going in with the same colors, the purple and the blue and the black. I don't want to cover up the purple cardstock completely. I just want to add some interest to it so it's not so flat. But these dies etch in some cute details into the numbers. Here is the balloon tie, and I'll attach that at the bottom. And then it also comes with the balloon strings. So I'll attach that last. You can hardly see it there on the white cardstock or the white type paper I'm using. Here it is all done. Okay, so I let this dry completely. I actually let it dry overnight, and this is the next day. I'm going to heat emboss a sentiment on the side with some white embossing powder. So I inked it up with some Versamark ink. And I'll pour over some white embossing powder. And then I can melt this. It says, "It's party time." Next, I'm going to add a little bit of white spatter to represent the stars, but I wanted to cover up my sentiment so that I don't get any white blobs on that. I'm using some Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed-proof white ink, and I mixed it with a little bit of water. Now I can just splatter that on. I get some large blobs when I shake it like this, just with my right hand. When I tap it with my left hand, it creates smaller stars. I like the combination of the big blobs and the little blobs. It just looks better to me. And then I'll set this aside to dry, but let's pull off the tape, see how that looks. This is going to be a shaped card, so I used the largest die to cut out a card base, and I attached a piece of green cardstock over that. It's forest green. And I attached my galaxy. Now I can attach the alien. So I put a little foam square inside the circle of his legs. I'll add some larger foam squares so that he is the same height as his legs, making sure that those can wiggle back and forth. Before I pull off the release paper, I'm going to attach his arms and make sure that they fit on the card. I'll just have both of them up. But of course, you can pose him however you'd like. And now I can attach him to the side of the card. He's going to be holding the balloon string. So I'll attach the balloon next with more foam squares. And I'm not going to glue down the string. It's just going to hang there. I want it to look like he is holding this little balloon. I'm going to stamp out more sentiments on the inside of the card. They were so cute, I just had to use them. This one says, "Sending monstrous birthday wishes." I used some dark VersaFine Onyx Black ink for this. And here is the finished card. I'm not going to add any embellishments. It's pretty busy as is, but I did add some white gel pen over the monster. Well, I keep saying monster, but he is actually an alien. For the second card, I did turn this little guy into a monster, a Valentine monster. Isn't he cute? And I curved the sentiment at the top so it says, "Sending monstrous." And then I had a hugs sentiment die that I used under the monster. And of course, I have to show you how cute his legs wiggle. I thought this was such a fun Valentine's Day card. Instead of the eyes, I put little red horns on the top of his head and added some pink sequins. There are so many cute examples online of what designers have done with this die set. I will link all of these products in the description box below if you want to check them out. I hope that you enjoyed today's card project. Thanks so much for watching, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye.